Says I'm live. All right, there we go. Okay. Then all people get in. Mr. Popular. I am Mr. Popular, apparently. Cha. Cha. Okay, there's that. Yes, hello, Deep Missouri. How are you doing today? Yes, kid? Okay, I'll pick up the string. Oh, yeah. Yeah, try a little harder. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You got it? Good. Just got over. Ooh, concussion. Ooh. Yeah, it's going well. Had a horrible game of Deadlock last night, but that's honestly my biggest complaint is just that. Cats are doing good. Already ate. Sayla's found a new little hidey hole in the desk. So, and thankfully this one, like, where she likes to sit is like more than fine. It's just sometimes I can't move my mouse as much as I would like to. I also did get a new mouse pad. It's like a really flat one instead of one with an arm. I don't know if I've talked about that before, but uh so like the mouse pad that Bex gave me and the one I had before that, uh I realized it was uncomfortable for my arm instead of just, resting my like the middle of my forearm on the desk and then moving my mouse like that. So I don't know if I was messing something up. But yeah, no. Wrist mouse pads or butt mouse pads or boob mouse pads. I don't think they're for me unless I get something very specific. But it was definitely feeling like it was making my arm flare up almost, and I don't know if that was normal or not. Ah, asshole. All right, student. You good? Just Sayla, like, she took her paw around my middle finger, dragged it down, she sniffed it, and then, like, she did that thing when it's like, I'm gonna bite it now, and then she bit it. But thankfully, it wasn't her canines or whatever. It was just like, it was like behind her canines, but still, her sheep, her teeth are a little sharp. Also, hello, user. How are you doing today? Oh, still, I'm gonna have to trim their nails today. So let me turn this. Yep, this is faster now. Oh, Pesterquest, hello? Oh, there we go. I'm doing good. Just got bit by the cat. Fucking cannons, how do they work? The scourge of the high seas. Do I want to talk to Gamzee? I know what he becomes, but maybe he'll actually be chill this time, You know, Homestuck taught me that forever actually means nothing. Because we promised to keep games in the forever box. But Sayla, I need you to stop doing that. This time she did use her sharp canine teeth to bite, but it wasn't bite hard. He shouldn't be as insane. No, he shouldn't. You are right. So I don't need to get the shotgun of buckshot. Because hey, if he that's the problem. He the sprite for this one is so good. And I will die on this hill. I really like Marvis's though. Will it peak on that? And because I remembered Marvis, I remember Zebra, and my quality of life has just gone down a bit. Meow. Oh, I watched a funny video of there are two clowns inside you. And they're both trolls. Come on, kid. You gotta let me have the string if you want to play. Yeah, there you go. I'm surprised Char is not like come down to try to catch the string. He's actually letting Sayla play with the string now. All right. Just trying to get Sayla has just so much energy. So it's always like, how long are you gonna play for? Before you get a little tired. Then again, she's only like 4 or 5 years old, so I don't expect that and then she sleeps for like 16 hours a day because she's an indoor kid. All right. I have plenty of friends. Fucking can't. All right, how do we mess this up? First things first. You deliver Karkat into the arms of a giant white crab, which strikes you as totally normal and safe thing to do. You're really beginning to get the hang of this zap situation. For instance, you are now capable of utilizing it without unleashing a lengthy exposition of the value of interpersonal relationships. You can just go. Gotta go have a blessed day. Thank you, user. You as well. Take care and stay safe out there. Also, there's no music? I think I know what I need to do. Maybe that might be just how it goes. First things first. Okay. Luckily, too, since when you drop Karkat off at his place, he does not look in the mood for philosophy. More for crawling into bed and sleeping for a week. You don't blame him. Dave and John are nice kids, but they do require a high level of buy-in to talk to. Since you have a memory like a steel friendship trap, you recall that there's another possible bro in the area. What did Karkat call that kid when he lost his shit at the thought of meeting? Macaroni. You zap to Macaroni's house. This time you aim for the yard and not the broom closet, and find yourself outside a huge sandstone castle at the edge of a dark, sprawling ocean. You'd have to say it was abandoned if it wasn't for the lights in the windows. Standing at the tide line is some sort of Halloween decoration. A scarecrow made entirely of sticks and hair and a pair of oversized gray pants. Wait. They probably don't even have Halloween here. It's already spooky enough every day. A nocturnal world can't even fuck with night holidays. The scarecrow throws a rock into the surf. I will die on this hill, Rikku. Winding up his long, thin arm is a whole production. Although the motion is surprisingly fluid, gonna have a fight. You edge closer, not wanting to alarm him, but needing to move the plot along at a reasonable clip. You clear your throat. Let me just turn that. Yeah, about right there. The boy scarecrow does the latest double take you have ever seen. It's like he's on half speed. Motherfucker, are you lost? That's a little forward. Not that you aren't hip to all the choicest trends that the kids are on. You have absolutely no problem with some random teen just swearing at you out of the blue. It's absolutely fine. In fact, you'll love it. Makara, that's what his name was. You ever look at the ocean? You know, really get your eye stalks going on it? Well, yeah, you're doing that right now, actually, since the ocean is right in front of you. And it's very hard not to see it, at least out of the corner of your eye. Oh, dang. Felt for sure you were someone's little lost Lucis on account of being wide all over. Not my old goat, for sure. That old bastard's never once showed his ugly skull to share a pie. The tide creeps up on the beach, and you take an automatic step back. The water looks normal. Makara is up to his shins in the surf, but you still don't trust like that? You can teleport, but that doesn't mean you want your toes burned off by alien saltwater or whatever the fuck. What about you, stranger? You ever get down on a hot, warm plate of gooey mess? Ah, motherfucker. I got one in the oven. Oh, congratulations. Oh, how silly of you. You love pie. You love it so much more than any weird shit you thought he was going to be talking about. He grins and, oh god. Horror opens up a pit in your stomach as his skin cracks. Before you realize that it's makeup, he's got face paint on. You guess kind of like a clown thing going on? It tracks. Big pants, crazy hair, etc. That's actually kind of fucking weird, but really not as weird as it should be. Like everything since you began this rollicking friendship romp. This new information feels like remembering rather than learning. I wonder why. Right now, all you really care about learning or remembering is that sweet pie the kid mentioned. Hell yeah. You got your pan all at where it's supposed to be. In your sack. Gamsey. Come again? Gamsey. Bless you. My name, motherfucker. For a second, the kid's vacant stare sharpens. His gray eyes are like looking down a long, empty corridor. But just for the brief moment, you think you see something lurking at the end of it. Something angry, and then it's gone. Gamsey brings you inside his hive, which is lopsided and shakes when the wind blows. For design, it definitely got their architecture degree online. It also smells a lot like weed. Take a step into the living room. Honk. Oh, Jesus Christ. There are like 40 little honk horns strewn around the floor in a pattern that makes it absolutely inevitable that you will step on most of them on your way to the couch. You give up after a few seconds of careful hopping and just honk your way across the room. It's a goose party up in here. Oh yeah, brother, make that music. Sometimes it all just gets too much to contain, you know what I'm saying? Gamsey sticks his head around the door to what you assume must be the kitchen. He's got flour on his nose. You thought he said the pie was already in the oven. What's he using flour for? The music builds up, don't it? It's like a miracle. Like a little ball of snot, what's all caught up in your suck sphincters. You actually have no idea what he's talking about. And you're pretty sure that's not your fault. A bunch of clattering and banging interrupts your thoughts. Dear God, what's he doing in there? How hard is he baking? Yeah, how hard is he, baking in there? El Diablo's Lechuga. Then you realize it isn't coming from the kitchen, it's coming from a different door. A closet door. What even is that? Oh fuck it. It's you and Carcat. You must have time traveled without even meaning to when you zapped there. Damn it, you thought you were getting the hang of this. But how do you even respond to this absolutely unforeseen turn of events? Paradox! You spring up to answer the door because that's what any good guest would do while their host is busy fighting a pie. You honk your way over, making more music on the way, miracles or whatever. You wonder what you're going to say when you see yourself. You'll probably be pretty surprised. Up close, the door is sort of warm? Not temperature-wise, more in an existential way. An air of weight hangs around this door, and when you touch it, its tingling heat shoots up your fingers. Man, this door is great. You don't want anything more than to just open this door. Shit, you love this door. Just doors in general, actually. Fucking amazing. You love to open them up and be in one place and then walk through them and then be in another. You twist the handle. You are forcibly returned to the start screen. I'm actually very appreciative of that. Bad end was very concise. So I'm assuming that was just a paradox then. Apparently a pretty grave one? Let Gamgee open the door. Figuring this is the best way to prevent a paradox, you wait until the racket gets loud enough to alert your host. What's all that? You shrug and open your eyes real wide to show just how innocent you are. This is a total mystery that absolutely needs solving. Oh, hey, hold up, my brother. I'm hearing something in the scrub cubby. Something squawky's what's all got itself trapped. Noise in the closet breaks off just as Gamgee throws open. Okay. I really fucking love Marvis as a character. We're dealing with a purple blood. We're dealing with clowns. I just want to bring that up. I truly do believe Marvis was trying to contain that situation. I have brought this up a few times, but every time I just need to bring this up. I truly believe he had his bloodlust control, but understood that he could not get away with someone needed to die. But if he tried fighting the other clowns on this, more clowns may have had to die then. I think he was absolutely trying to minimize casualties. He was just being way too much of a bro, just believing us. Now, whether there's some dark shenanigans going on in the background where essentially he kind of knows the greater flow of the universe or whatever, and it's just like, well, I need these people alive so I can sacrifice them for later. But I don't think so. Will we ever get Hive Swap Act 3? I don't know. But I really would like to know Marvis's endgame. What does he want? Because they're working on Act 3. I remember you shared some of the art they had finished for that, or it's either concept or actual finished pieces of art. And doing contests. Okay. Also, something I'm wondering, because I don't know the end of Pesterquest. Like, I know nothing. But I'm wondering if we'll ever see the Microsoft, the reader, you know, so our character right now, if we'll ever see him in Homestuck 2. That is something I've been wondering. Because again, so he could be erased out of existence. He's done his job. Doc Scratch literally got all the use out of him, so he's deleted, or maybe he somehow persevered and he's still a concept that's allowed to exist. I'm just wondering if he'll ever show up in Homestuck 2. Because we will be going back to that after this. And then we're probably going to have to drop that for the... We're going to have to drop that for a good while, because updates are... They happen, but very infrequently. The noise in the closet breaks off just as Gamgee throws open the door. Yep, same place as before. Other you and Carcat must be shouting at each other back in his hive. Well, he'll be doing most of the shouting. It really is a mess in there. Shit. Damn. Little monsters skirted off. Yeah, weird. You have no idea where they went. Okay, I gotta turn down the volume for myself. How's the noise for you guys? How's the volume? Do I need to turn it down some more? I probably do, actually. I'm just gonna do that. Which is interesting, because I don't think I've had to turn down the music for the other ones. Then again, what volume? Might be too loud, just barely. Okay. Alright, This is one of those fun games. Here, I'll show you. This is one of those games where the middle might as well not exist. Like, if I go up here, it's gonna get really loud, and over here, it'll go really quickly, but over here, it's actually gradual. Yeah, once you start hitting these end nodes, like, that's where it jumps. Like, it's almost exponential. How much louder and how much quieter it'll get. Here, it's very gradual. Also, this music kind of reminds me of something you'd hear from, like, a PS1 game. I'm trying to think of which one. Huh, weird. You have no idea where they went, and you're totally sure it was not a friend of his who flipped out at the sheer sound of his voice. That would be ridiculous. Oh, no doubt. You're glad you agreed about that. Oh, and speaking of, you mentioned that you have a friend in common. Carcat? Small? Shouty? Gamesy cracks in such a wide grin, you're surprised his face isn't turned inside out. Yeah, there's my fucking best friend. As close as two regulars what slathered out of the mother grub's frumpy ass together. We got a rap on. Rap, like actual rap? Carcat doesn't really strike you as the rapping type. Not so much as you'd notice. But I know he's got that music inside him somewhere. He does have a song in his heart. All wrapped under his skin, just waiting for a real motherfucker brother to rip it out. Oh, that's incredibly romantic, but also absolutely the creepiest shit you have ever heard. Oh, hell yes. An ungodly amount of steam issues from the kitchen, like someone baking in a cartoon. Whatever it is, smells amazing. Sugary with just a hint of sharpness to it. Did Gamsy ever say what kind of pie he's making? Miracle pie, sister. Miracle pie. Oh, nice. Miracle flavor. Sounds great and not at all like it might burn the roof of your mouth. He looks so proud. You know what? I'm gonna call it lemon lime. Gamsy emerges from the kitchen, the sweet smell getting stronger as he comes closer. He isn't carrying any plates or forks, whatever, so you guess you're going to eat with your hands? You look down at your grubby little paws. When was the last time you washed these silly little things? You are disgusting. But then you get a look at the pie and realize that germs are really going to be the least of your concerns. It's thick and gelatinous and green. Neon green. Poison control green. Like clip art of something toxic. You are absolutely sure that whatever that pie is made of, humans are not meant to eat it. Probably not trolls either. I can believe it. Gamesy sits down next to you, stretching out his long, skinny legs onto the coffee table, knocking over a stack of comics and a couple empty Fuego bottles. Yikes, this did not make you feel any better about his ability to make good nutritional choices. Yes, Gamsy. As politely as you are able. What kind of pie is it? Oh, dang, brother. Nutrimentary never gives away his secret ingredients. All you need to know is this is the good shit. You want to see the miracles the way I... Hope you pack your bag, kid, because you're going on a trip. I can hear in your voice. I can see in your sea stocks. This is the shit that's going to put you all the way up over the top. Gamesy gives you that one look. You know the one. When your friend tells you that they got some deliriously dang shit that they're just aching to share with you. That's a real thing that happens. It is absolutely drugs. This is a drug pie. Dare to resist the alcohol and drug pie. Eat the drug pie. Well, fuck it. You're magic. You can do whatever you want. You scoop out a big green glowing glop of poison pie. It's so gooey and thick it almost slides right out of your hand. You manage to get a little bit into your mouth. And that's when you lose everything. It punches you right in the taste buds. So sweet your teeth ache and without any discernible texture. Just goop that slowly fills your mouth and coats your throat. Wow, this sure is a tactile experience. It doesn't taste bad, Just sort of like you swallowed a big, sweet mouthful of nausea hits you in a wave, and every nerve ratchets tight. Yep, this is definitely not meant for you. Whatever kind of creature you are, your body wants to reject it. Lean over the arm of the couch and prepare to give this volume an additional content warning. But the feeling passes, and not only does it pass, it's accompanied by a rising sweep of euphoria. It shivers up your stomach and into your brainstem. You let an intentional sigh of happiness and settle back down to the couch. Wow, you feel so great right now? Holy shit, drugs are awesome! You want to do them all the time. No wonder Gamgee was so intent on getting this pie finished. If you were him, and you knew the secret to the wonders of the universe, you wouldn't need anything else, ever. A long finger taps you on the shoulder. No! He offers you the pie plate. You eagerly dig your fingers in. It's getting all over the couch and your face, but you don't care. You just want more of that perfect, contented feeling. Gamgee watches you with dreamy approval. Oh no. Somehow, the two of you end up in the supply closet. You aren't really sure why. It just felt like a good idea to go in there. Possibly to investigate whatever it was making a bunch of silly little noises just a few minutes ago. Oh, you know what it was? It was you. You and Carcat. You guys came to visit Gamgee one time, but Carcat wussed out. You'll try harder next time. Ha, good try, motherfucker. You're not pulling my stem that easy. My nubby little brother hasn't been anywhere near my motherfucking hive. I've tried to get him over here again and again, you know? But he's all got that hate on for face-to-face hangouts. Not like you. You got your motherfucking pan blown right the fuck open. You're like me, my sister. You're wide open to the motherfucking miracles. You tell Gamgee that he's totally right. You're so so open and ready to whatever miracles come along. But no, seriously. Please do not teleport and do drugs at the same time. This will only go bad. But no, seriously, if you wanted to, the two of you could probably go visit Carcat right now. He's probably sleeping off his trip to an alien planet, but you could wait, or just zap forward in time a little bit. That's a thing you can do. Oh, for real? Why didn't you say so then, motherfucker? Zap us out of here. Sure, right away. Anything you want, best friend. Gamgee gives you another one of those wide, messy grins. Like he can't contain his joy at the thought of being someone's best friends. You totally sympathize. You can't actually remember how to use your magic powers right now. You think it's possibly because you're a little too high? You don't even remember how you can be lying on this filthy closet floor and look up at the filthy closet ceiling. Shouldn't you try to keep the place of your clean supplies a little, cleaner? No worries, my brother. There isn't any rush. I got my certainty on that one day we're all gonna get together in one big horn pile. My boy Carcat, T-Dog, Esquius, that nasty cerulean bitch, what's always mad as hell, everybody. We're all gonna climb up to the clouds together. You don't know who some of these people are, but that's okay. You're confident that they'd all make amazing friends and you can't wait to climb up into the sky with them. Well, you do once you get up there. We ride the Dark Carnival all the way to paradise, my brother. The Dark Carnival? That sounds familiar somehow. You feel like you've heard before. Oh, I should hope so, motherfucker. Anybody what's got any kind of head for religious dogma at all has heard of this shit. I knew you were a real one. Oh yeah, for sure, you are the realest, but imagine you weren't as real as you could be. What would you tell some dumbass who had no idea what games he was talking about? The Dark Carnival where the path leads to my brother. Back in the old days, the religious got their blood poured out when their time came. All that purple painting, the ringmaster circle, but nowadays more like a metaphor and shit. When a motherfucker dies, his soul is all raptured up from his corporeal meat. Corpse meat, right? And that soul's got to all up and go somewhere, don't it? It's not about to just float around untethered. So it rides on up to the carnival where it gets all right and properly judged to see whether it's been a good bitch or a naughty motherfucker. Anyway, that's how the miracle works. Right, good. That sounds amazing. I really hope Gamgee gets there one day. Something Jagged slams up against the haze of drugged contentment. You feel like a booming knock on the inside of your consciousness. You remember a face. Gamzee's face. No, not quite. Oh, it's a face with makeup, but it's younger, kinder, more vulnerable. You remember this is a friend. You remember you had friends. You remember a clown. With a monumental effort, you force yourself into a sitting position. Gamzee is still splayed out on the floor, totally gone. You have to figure this out. For a split second, you had it. You shake your head, trying to clear it. You stagger up. Gamzee makes a sleepy noise and rolls onto his side. You stagger back into the living room, feeling your way across the wall until you find a bludgeon trap. You locate the sink and splash some water in your face, trying to focus enough to concentrate, but not enough to lose this thread. Somehow, if you become too aware of yourself, you're going to completely forget everything again. It's almost like someone wants you to forget all your friends and your past adventures. You close your eyes and picture that friendly clown face. A name drifts across your mind, almost close enough to snatch. Please. Please. All of your other trips through the narrative have been instantaneous. 1 second you're in a place, and the next you're in another. This time, the air feels warm and gelatinous, like trying to run while waist deep in water. The drug pie could just be fucking with your powers, but in the core of you that isn't right. You're aware you aren't supposed to be, and something here knows you're trespassing. Something here is awake and it sees you. Your body goes through a series of shivers, not unlike when you first tasted the pie. Some distant layer of you knows that whatever you are experiencing is wrong, and you're not meant to be seen by anyone, as if somehow you got a glimpse into a subatomic level. Your vision stretches out in a long, empty corridor. And to the other end is you slingshot back into Gamzee's hive, hitting the floor with what feels like every inch of your body. God, how can you fall on your ass and your head at the same time? How is that legal? Even worse, you appear to have sobered up much faster than you would have any right to. The high has broken like a fever, and you're sweating through your trendy colored shirt. You turn. Gamzee somehow moved himself to the couch while you were doing whatever it was, trying to throw yourself into the part of the narrative you don't have permission to see. He looks significantly less stoned than before, too. Where'd you go, motherfucker? Oh, you just tried to pop a visit to someone? Someone you thought you remembered from your past, and it went wrong. Somehow you're just getting the image of a T-posing figure, which is just absolutely absurd. Damn. That's some deep nonsense right there. Some righteous fucking noise. Yeah, you guess, though? Probably just because of the drugs, though. Gamzee looks at you through slitted, hazy eyes, and you realize that trying to explain anything to him when he's in the state isn't going to do any good. Just a fever dream. And that's probably what it was. Shit. Maybe this is what the kids refer to as a bad trip. Is this what Gamzee does? Just sit in his hive all the time and gets high? Well, that's a perfectly respectable way to deal with a hell place like Alternia, but God, it makes you sad. All these kids you've met so far make you incredibly sad. There, now you went and bumped yourself out. You're exhausted. You really aren't above doing the least amount of work for the highest possible reward. You shrug and tell him that probably what you experienced was a miracle. Gamzee's beatific smile makes it all better. Oh, so you have a colored shirt now, as well as your hoodie. A T-posing man that does not want you there. And you went to a corridor, and you were trying to remember. I always called him Kakarot. That's interesting that because I'm assuming you remembered him. You were able to manage to use your power to try to get to him, but you ended up in this area. A rather, I'm going to say just an absurd area. It's just this long corridor. You're not in a place next or near them. Well, maybe the corridor leads to them, but that's the thing. It's a corridor you're going through. And you're blocked by a T-posing man. Because, well, everyone's dead. We don't know the results of Act 3 yet, but we know that at the end of Act 2, they're dead. They're just dead. But even then, I'm assuming at this point, old age or something else would have gotten a hold of them. Something to ponder as we keep going. All right. Might as well go for the ending, the other ending when, you decide to let games you handle the door. I don't need drugs. I get high on life. You take a deep breath and prepare to stand up to peer pressure. You tell Games that you think you'll pass in the pie. Whoa, for real? Nobody's ever turned down a pie before. Really? How many people has he offered it to? Games grins. Well, motherfucker, you got me there. No fear, brother, no fear. You gotta be all doing what's your feeling. No, I'm about to harsh your brother's flow when it comes to all their personal preferences or whatever. Oh, thank God. He isn't gonna think you're uncool for not doing his drug pie. You can't exactly recall where you've picked up the idea that alternating drugs are not a good idea, but you're pretty sure it's right. Maybe just a good general rule of thumb. Avoid alien-controlled substances. Well, probably all alien substances. Maybe it would be bad for you even if it wasn't drug pie. Your internal anatomy is still a mystery to you. Actually, Gamsey is taking this so well that you feel emboldened to go further. Push a little harder. Man, you really are getting brazen with this after-school special shit. Oh my gosh. You suggest to Gamsey that, just maybe, he shouldn't eat the pie either. He raises both eyebrows and gives you a slow blink. Looking from the pie to you and back again, he looks absolutely flabbergasted at the idea. Hasn't anyone ever mentioned to him that he should be careful what he eats? Not even Carcat? Absolutely, seems like the kind of guy to want to micromanage his friends' lives. Might have said a thing or two. Once, or maybe 2 times. Does Gamsey ever think about following his good friend's advice? Gamsey freezes if Those are the eyes of contempt. Gamsey freezes with one long-fingered hand reaching for the pie. You can practically see the gears turning in his head. You catch another flicker in that flat, effectless menace behind his eyes. Then he splits into another big, sloppy grin. Fuck it. Gamsey rises eerily to his feet like he's on marionette strings, almost without bending his knees. Picking up the pie, he shuffles across the rough block and opens the window. He makes and holds eye contact as he throws a pie out the window. Okay, well, that's one way to get rid of it. Well, but the pie plate. More where that came from. Anything I want, I just enter it into the computer and it appears outside the hive a couple hours later. Fucking miracles, man. Or maybe just same-day delivery. Is there a troll Amazon? Gamsey lets out a creaky laugh. It makes you a little nervous, and you can't pinpoint why. We are so fucking dead. Slow down, brother. You're taking all the deep motherfucking heresies You're talking all the deep motherfucking heresies today. Turning down a perfectly Turning down a perfectly good pie, what could have gotten us well and truly seeing the glories? What's the Messiah put us on this planet? Don't take away my miracles, too. Well, you didn't make him throw the pie out the window. You just made a suggestion. He didn't have to listen to you. Oh no, you got the right of it. We'll do it your way. You never know. The old goat might come home for once. And he never likes when I fly high on pie. Well, if he's sure. Well, if he's sure, Gamzee looks at you from across the room, silhouetted against the window like a black spot on the moon, and you think you may have just made a mistake. You aren't exactly sure why, just something in the back of your head is shouting at you. Maybe you'll check, just to be sure. So when Gamzee lops back into the kitchen, maybe to throw more shit passive-aggressively out a window, you zap forward, just for a little while, a couple of days. The house is quiet, but everything looks mostly the same. When you listen, though, you hear a steady thump, thump, thump. If you didn't know better, you might say it was someone banging something against drywall, for instance. Their head. The sound rattles through the stone of the hive and builds along the scaffolding of your body. With mounting dread, you zap a few days forward. The hive is a wreck. It wasn't exactly a showroom before, but now there are 3 times as many honk horns and fuego bottles overflowing off the table. The couch bleeds stuffing from 3 long gouges. The TV is shattered, and every mirror in the house is broken. Every shiny surface lashes past recognition. It's like someone didn't want to see themselves. Can't believe, oh God, what happened? You zapped a Carcat's hive. He knows Gamzee. He'll be able to tell you. Oh God. Red. Red everywhere. It's on Carcat's bedroom, walls, the floor, even arching up to the ceiling. Carcat's red blood. You never got a chance to talk to him about it. Your stomach curls on and on itself. You fall forward onto your knees, retching onto the carpet. You haven't had any of the pie, so nothing comes up. Kanaya's room is in a far greater disarray. She looks like she put up more of a fight than Carcat had. There are great gouts of jade blood over the bolts of cloth and drafting table, but it's joined by deep splashes of royal purple. Kanaya's husktop glows sickeningly in the dim room. A smiley face with a round clown nose is painted in the blood on the screen. Beneath it is an instant message flashes. Fuzzy fangs. What the fuck? Can't ignore me forever, Miriam. I doubt you can, even if you do it for one night. The cursor flashes. Green and purple ooze on the keys, still wet. Oh God, he's gone after AG2. You have to do something. You appear in the tall stone room. You've never been here before, or maybe you have. Maybe you've already made good friends with this particular troll. It really depends on which option you chose at the beginning of the volume. God, why did you think that? Why isn't your brain working? What the fuck is wrong with you? You feel like you knew all this, but not? Like you watched it all happen to somebody else. In the distance, you hear a little telltale honk. Ice sheets up your spine. Honk. That is the most cursed noise you've ever heard in your life. Jesus fuck, you're going to have nightmares filled with brass instrumentation, provided you don't die immediately. Honk. Oh, hey there, motherfucker. You're late. Oh, hey, Gamzee, you sure? Sure look totally fucked up. Green and crimson paint his shirt. Flashed up his arms to the elbows. It's like fucking Christmas up in here. 3 deep purple gouges intersect his face, still bleeding freshly. Shit, dude. You should have kept doing your drugs if this was an alternative. Talk about an overreaction. Overreaction? Isn't no fucking reaction. Little apparent speck of worm meat. This is true God's judgment. He came to me, motherfucker. He spoke his words to my ear. He's the only one what's ever bothered to say motherfucking truths to me. Who came to him? Who was speaking truth? Don't worry. You'll meet him soon. Honk. 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 Oh God. I want Gamesy dead. Oh wait, shut real first. You you got really high with Gamesy, maybe a little too high. And then it looks like there's multiple. Well, could just be the same thing with Rose, where it's like, no double weenie. Okay, close that real quick. I as long as he has his pie, as long as he doesn't learn about what's the name of the clowns? I forgot already. Juggalos, yes. I don't know. Insane Clown Posse, there we go. I think Gamzee's just too. Gamzee only has a few things that'll make him go deep end. But those few things can happen so easily, though, that I think we just need to kill him. Because then it's the thing of he can never interact with Dave. He cannot be on the internet. The neat thing about this timeline is that he never goes to Earth and he doesn't meet Dave. Okay. As long as Carcat never mentions Dave, I think that's cool then. I think yeah. And then also you're preventing the game, so preventing him no. If you prevent the game, I think a lot of things will work out. But yeah, if he just needs because he doesn't meet Dave until after they start playing yep. So yeah, I think for this timeline to work, Carcat literally just needs to never bring up Dave, and Dave should never get curious about who Carcat is talking to. Because that's the other thing. Because now Carcat knows Dave, and they hung out for like a while. I don't remember how long. Also, don't know if I think they're able to talk to each other. We'll see. But yeah, no. I don't know, man. Just a day so far. Your latest narrative jaunt has you walking down an Alternian shore. The two moons light up this beach cove in shades of pink and lime green, the reflections playing at shimmering patterns in the gentle waves. It would be beautiful if not for the haggard, monstrous gulls picking the flesh from dead and pungently rotting fish, crabs, and even one of their own. Keep your distance as they eye you warily, gore on their chipped beaks. These are not potential friends. Everywhere you jump, serendipity seems to guide your hand. But would it be right to call you fortunate? The night is cool, almost cold. You kick a pure white seashell down the beach. It skips gracelessly in the dark gray sand. You have brought friends together and just barely begun to master this tremendous and strange new power. But no, you think. You are not fortunate. As you walk alone down the sand that's still radiating stored up heat from the searing day, you feel a pang. Something is missing. You know you felt this way before, but you can't place when. You have a gulf within you, the width and breadth of this ocean, in isolation so plain, so true that it seems impassable, invincible. You step on a weird bug and you don't even care. Yes, you are filled with a sudden, almost comforting conviction. Nothing you have done in your journey has really made a difference. If you can pick up and put down the lives of these alien weirdos and human weirdos and shake them like an etch a sketch when things go wrong, are you really accomplishing anything? Or are you just building shitty castles in the sand with flimsy plastic implements, castles that won't mean shit for nothing when the tide rises? You've decided. You are a creature of solitude. You are a rock. You are an island. From now on, you walk alone. There may be an angled figure crouched with terrible posture on the deck ahead. Sure, that figure may be sitting next to an intriguing-looking moored ship, yes. But surely one glimpse of a potential life to meddle in won't immediately make you fall off the wagon. Back to a life of uh, itinerant friendship, right? Oh, sweet, a new friend. God damn it. Yambo over to the girl hunched on the dock like the stupid thembo friend slut you are, doing an acrobatic fucking pirouette off the wagon. She hasn't seen you yet, so you watch her like a creep. She already knows you're there, my guy. She's leaning over a complicated pile of papers, erasing boxes and filling them in again. Every once in a while, she pauses to roll various dice. Oh, I fuck with this. As soon as you take one step into the wooden deck, she looks up and jumps with a feline quickness into a standing position, looking immediately ready for a fight. Whoa, what are you? You raise your hands in a pathetic sort of, I'm innocent in weak motion, which for you is basically any motion. Wait a second. You're that weirdo that was bothering Kanaya, aren't you? Yep, you're exactly that weirdo. And now you're here saying hello to a new stranger and maybe make a new friend? Isn't that great? Great, just what I needed. More meddling. I know I'm the coolest, but I'm kind of busy right now. Big campaign tonight. Dude, you're so good at campaigns, you tell her. You're all about hopes and change. You helped Al Gore hang a Chad. What? Tippy Canoe and Tyler 2. Oh yeah, Tippy Canoe and Tyler 2 was a slogan for one of the presidential races here in America. I don't remember the exact history of it, but I do remember that slogan because it's catchy. Tippy Canoe and Tyler 2. If I remember right, Tippy Canoe was the battle. And if I remember right, Tyler, I forget the full name of the gentleman, was someone who was at the battle present, and like that was their like big ticket item. Like, listen, I got a war vet with me as my vice president. Yeah, fun little history. Again, I learned this back when I was like, I think 16 or 17, so it's been like 11 years since I last heard this. But it was interesting to learn about. What even the fuck are you saying? Don't call me dude or anything else for that matter. You mean you're down to help? Maybe be her campaign manager? I'm the captain here, buddy. But as it happens, I'm currently all out of first mates. Wanna be a swabby? Oh, it's like a boat thing. 6'7"? Six or seven. 6 or 7. Oh, it's like a boat thing. Yes. So that's why there's a boat there. What's all the papers on the ground for? The campaign, dumbass. They're the character sheets for me, the greatest petticoat seagrift ever to sail the 8 seas. One of our friends was raised in a cave, and she still knows what flarp is. Well, you can zap over to the cave and ask her then. Her look of indifference is immediately replaced with a tilt to the head, as though your threat to leave caught her attention. Ew, unless you want to smell like cat piss for weeks and get high off secondhand catnip. Look, it's simple. Pick a name and roll up some stats. For example, I am Marquise Spinneret Mindfang. I am the scourge of the high seas, an undefeated champion of naval flarp. My colors on the horizon turn even high bloods into sniveling cowards. You see, that sounds really cool, but aren't troll names 6-letter long? You mean, you've only met a couple before this, but for some reason you have a really strong sense of the rules here. I'm in character here. Try to keep up. I guess that explains the outfit. She seems really into it. Maybe weirdly into it? It's all a bit intense. Isn't this just a game? Flarp is more than just a game, and I'm the best there is. How about this? If you agree to make a character and sail with me, I'll tell you my real name. You look at her elaborate costume over at the ship and decide, why the hell not? You've already made your friend bed, you might as well sleep in it now. Not that you're going to sleep or anything, that would be, well, patently ridiculous. Oh no. Okay, let's walk you through this. You should be flattered that a game master like me is giving you the full tutorial. I had to read the books myself, with no help. Hi. I might as well bring this up since this is the stream where we just chat about a lot of things because these games bring up so many fun topics. So Pivot managed to wrangle me into Warhammer. It's gotten so bad he's actually managed to wrangle my brother as well. I was not expecting to live this kind of life, but here I fucking am. I think I mentioned this before. There was a good 2 week period where I was looking at a website trying to figure out how to do everything. This is a thumbnail right here. Yeah. This would actually be a thumbnail. I think the only thing I'd do is I'd have a red circle around Vriska. So today, an update came to the website I used to build my army, and now Pip was like, "Oh, Riku, you could do." So that was one of the things I was doing. I also, uh, I was in another person's stream for a hot second. Just had to do something. But also during that time, I was also talking to Pivot about the new changes that came out. So I'm making the Sisters of Battle, the Nuns with Guns. Thanks for the high res pupils just in time. Just in time for what? Oh yeah, I forget. There's a little green in my eyes, so like that needs to be filled in. Yeah, like if I move my eyes over the red, yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, see now there's like a real like look at my on your right, my left, so your right hand. You can see there's red in my eye, but if I move up, there's white. I don't know why that was left like that. I keep forgetting that, but it's like usually never a problem. Because yeah, I know because usually one behind is like it's either green, white, blue. It's such a small teal is probably just missed. I don't know. Because that's the thing, like the eyes are essentially mirrored. Yeah, no, it literally is just a small stroke that's like there. I think I like it though. I don't mind it at all. Because that's the thing. It's literally something that I just thought to myself, like, oh, it's something probably Bex knows, and then it's like, no, because she probably got lost in them, whatever bullshit I was doing at the moment. It'd be like, oh, dude knows, and be like, oh yeah, I did, but then I got distracted. It's like, what'd you get distracted by? Oh, everything else. And it's like, okay, Bex, okay. I'm glad we had this conversation. But yes, I'm playing Warhammer. I've said this before. But yeah, no, they just released an update today for it. You can make your own quote unquote make your own character again. Mr. Popular added again. Yep. Yep. It's me, Mr. Popular, with 480 subscribers. I will never understand what makes a short pop off, but I just have to keep making them at this point. That's all there is to it. There probably won't be one tonight. Pivot really wants me to play Deadlock. So yeah, I would like to have one out for tomorrow, but we will see. Also, yeah, no, I might have to go to a different stream at this point for getting shorts out of because I think because I'm doing the first stream of Halo. That's where I've gotten like the last 10 clips from. It's just from the first stream. It was and all those clips came from the first hour and a half. But yeah, no, I can tell during that stream I had class in the morning and I'm fucking exhausted. So it is literally just corner and pivot talk for most of it. And I feel like I think I'm also sick in that stream as well, or I'm getting a cold. Because for that stream, it's a lot of Corner talking about the things she was learning at the time with her crime scene investigation classes, and then also the fucking group work. It feels so weird that in 3 years, like how the conversation, like what the typical conversation between us would be, to now currently just like, it's work, but before it was classes, group work being a piece of shit, and then now it's like uh corporate office politic bullshit of like HR is being a piece of shit. Other departments are making too many demands. Yeah, I'm playing Warhammer. I'm playing Sisters of Battle. And I want more models to use the heavy eviscerator or just the eviscerator. If you don't know what the eviscerator is, a chain sword. So imagine a sword, except instead of the blade on the edge, the sharp part, it is literally just a chainsaw. Now take that and make it into the size of like a Zweihander, like a big great sword. I want more Sisters of Battle units to use that because I think it's so cool. But only like one model, no, two. Two models use it. But now because of the character creation, I can make another unit that can lead the units that use them, which is Repentia, and I can actually make them look kind of cool. I think Sister Battles just need more options. Also, I think the Repentia don't look that good. I wish the Repentias had better models. I think I've seen some people make some like custom ones and use them in their games, and they look pretty good. But the ones that Games Workshop sells are not that good. Also, I just got a message. Did I just get a message? Yes, gift for the gods. Ooh, what are you making, Maxwell? Wait, is that a 3D model? It looks like a 3D model, kind of. Yes, we might as well take. I just wanted to take this moment because that's now my brother's gotten to it, and apparently he's even got the brain worm of like, yeah, when I'm at work and I don't got much to do, I think about what I can do to my army. It's like, I'm a monster. I let Pivot get his little grubby hands on my brother, but he's playing orcs. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. All right, we're back to the video game. Oh wait, no, we can keep that. We don't need this. I can exit out of this. Turn back on music. The first thing you do is roll values for each of the 10 dice rostra. Simple, right? She pops a huge bag of dice out of her Silodex and starts handing you groups at a time. You roll 2d4 for dice rostrum. Throw in the Empress, you get 2 ones. You roll 6d6 for rice rostrum. Conductor strand and 6 fucking snake eyes stare at you from the wood of the deck. Wow, you're really bad at this. Take the insult lying down. You gotta hand her. When she's right, she's right. And she's right. So she's right. You finished all 26 rolls required for this game, and you've gotten the lowest on each one. What rotten luck. I have never seen anyone roll this low before. I didn't even know you get a 0. It's okay. We can save this by putting the stats in the right places. Alright, Mr. Game Master. If you're so good at the game, how can you win from the shittiest position? I hope you like a challenge, Vriska. She flips to another page in the player's handbook and shows you the attributes of Flarp. For some reason, you can read them, despite just arriving on this planet for the first time. Right? So you got Vim, Grit, Poltertrite, and Grace combined with real-life vitals to make your HP. Wait, real-life vitals? Your body's weak and shitty. Is this kind of hardcore game? The most dangerous game? You die in the game, you do die in real life? Yeah? You didn't know? The sheer combined shock of what you don't know could kill an elephant quicker than Thomas Edison trying to discredit an immigrant. Did Thomas Edison do that? I think I did. There's a lot of things you don't cover in American history classes. You get to roll again when you level up, so you won't be so pathetic forever. I mean, if you survive. But with a scourge like me at your side, you're on easy street. I'm jealous of you, really. She means that. But then she'll hold it over your head for life. But she does mean this, though. I'm jealous of you, really. But again, she will hold it over you for life. You gulp and nod. Okay, let's finish this. The Marquise grins. Her lipstick smears a bit where her fang jut out. You'd think that's just how it is for trolls wearing lipstick, but Kanaya's was perfect. She pulls an 8-ball out of her pocket and smashes it. Suddenly and violently on the deck, you jump at the noise. She looks at you, pitifully, and then decides not to make fun of you. Out of the wrecked plastic sophistic sphere, a gross fucking grub worm appears. It's like the size of a wiener dog, and it's wriggling. You see that it's pulsating. Covered in the blue-tinted family recreation water, once inside an 8-ball, the grub's swollen ovipositor glistens. It extends to deposit a massive brood of eggs, each glowing in the center of a slowly pulsating LED light. This is so fucking gross. You look away and dry heave a bit, leaning off the deck. So far, this game sucks ass. Jag. Don't tell me you've never seen a game grub before. You tell her you've never seen a game grub before. Also, maybe she should give you a content warning before she makes you watch a thing that includes a glistening ovipositor. What? Oh shit, yeah, that was pretty gross. Here. You bring up the pause menu, clicking on warnings, and give it a read before making an informed decision. Have those was Alright, what was John's? No warnings. Alcoholism, underage drinking, neglectful parenting, abusive guardian. Yeah, John didn't, because John is really vanilla, essentially. It's very... So you have Rose as neglectful parenting, Dave is abusive guardian. I think overbearing may have been the better word instead of abusive, because abusive, that is a word you essentially, first thing comes to mind is like more physical and or like verbal, as if being talked down to or literally being beaten down. I would have said overbearing or overbearing or something along those lines. I know abusive can be an umbrella term, but because definitely overbearing, because cameras fucking everywhere, like, that is fucked up. Like, Dave was literally given no privacy. And then, of course, what do you know everything else about Dave? Like, oh, how he had to go through, like, all these different fucking mind games with Dirk, and all of that. But in the volume itself, like, I think the big thing was just that he had no privacy. like just cameras everywhere, who's always being monitored essentially. Because this version of Dirk was literally just, there was no restraint on this guy. There was no connection with other people. He was what is the word? Unrestrained, I guess. Oh, keep forgetting I need to appear off Steam when I play this game. Vriska taps her foot impatiently while you fuck around in the game client. For some reason, seeing a full list of content warnings isn't easing your anxiety about what's ahead. Reminds you of something that once made you really angry. In fact, you're especially worried about the gore and death tag. Maybe you should just peace out of this. That's basically no harm whatsoever in the yeeting out of this one. It might even save you a drowning for good measure. Not that flirtation of dangerous ends is exactly rare for you. I think this is the weenie ending, yeah. You know what, you're not feeling up to tabletop gaming today. You close your eyes to feel yourself sinking to another narrative. Wait! Your loss. Oh, Vriska. So... Oh, wait, I'm gonna close out of this. I actually want to see that. Oh, we didn't actually unlock that. I thought that definitely would have been the weenie ending for that. That's why I went with that, is just because I thought that was that. Okay, fuck. Huh. So I guess we dip halfway through the game then, and that's when we're called the weenies, because we already said you were going to. You know what? You're an informed reader and a prepared gamer. You got this. You ask Vriska what's next. She points to one of the glowing, blinking eggs, which is hatching a pixelated-looking bat. It flaps its way into the air with a high-pitched squeak and starts glowing and projecting a holographic image of a torch. Alright, all you have to do is assign your dice rostra on your attribute sconce. What? Pick your best and worst stats. Your top 2 stats determine your starting class. There's a lot of classes, but I'm already the best one. Alright, well, what seems simple enough? Drag attributes into the dice roster you want to utilize for them. This decision is permanent, so make sure you're satisfied before pressing finalize and ensconcing them. Frontline Vanguard. Spruce Lee. Immovable Object, Arm Wrestling Champ, Churlish Whirlwind, Damper Damager, Immovable Object, Scrappy Doer. Alright. Very interesting they decided to do this. Okay. Oh, you can actually... Okay, no, we're actually going to read this. Alright, leverage. Leverage is the foundation of the balance of power between clouders. Imagination, your inventiveness, highly useful for all classes when clouding. Your suaveness and hard-boiled credentials, important for any action that requires charm or charisma. Your hunger and enthusiasm. High app makes you more effective in combat, while low app improves your passive healing. A low? Oh, no, that would make sense. Interesting that a low appetite increases your passive healing. Dexterity, the measure of your finesse, paired with GRA for intricate tasks. Hubris, the sheer confidence. High hubris lets you overrule your clouder more successfully. Low hubris increases your compliance matrix offense. Grace, your ability to perform your Maintain your poise and smoothness. Imperative dex for intricate tasks. Your ability to get away from mischief. Alright. So Throne of the Empress. What actual stat would I want as my big one? I think realistically my highest score should be Plitteritude. Your suaveness and hard-boiled credentials important for any action that requires charm or charisma. Let's see. I think dexterity should, like, we should be lowest. Like, I'm gonna try to roleplay our character. Like, would I like it if we had more durability and strength in general? Yes. But alright. Balance of power. We're pretty inventful. And then let's see. Grit isn't just for men, but it helps you lift saves or keep your cool when wounded. Oh yeah, we are very rascally. Let's see, primary component of HP. High Vim makes you more durable, while low Vim makes you more dangerous when you're vulnerable. Interesting. Let's see, do we have Clouderin yet? I wouldn't say we're too durable as an individual. I almost want to have Vim at 0 because we are so squishy. I think Grit should be the next lowest. Alright. So, Play Night, because I forget what this was, and this was Imagination. Your two higher attributes are PLC and IMG. Your starting class will be Play Night. Oh, come on, this is a weenie class. Everyone knows Knights are only just above Skylux in terms of raw punchability. Yes, that's a real stat. Did we get the weenie thing then? A max level Petticoat, Seagriff, and a level 1 Play Knight. Not exactly the meta strat. You're lucky you're paired with the #1 gamer Alternia. Or can carry you to victory. We need just one more thing. There's more of this bullshit? What now? Is a giant sandworm going to poke its head out of the sand and puke up some more fucking game mechanics that will be described in excruciating narrative detail? Quit being so dramatic. Your character needs a name. Oh, a name. You already have one of those, though. You told Jaded already, but man, you're not feeling as comfortable with it right now for some reason. Why is thinking of yourself as a distinct being with an identity and a history feel so uncomfortable? What's wrong with you? Might as well just make up a character name. I know. Because this should be no... I think this is the no doubles thing, if I remember right. I can't stress this enough. No fucking doubles. I think we just got that achievement as well. I'll have to check after we're done. So we managed to get both things in one run of no weenie. Or, yeah, no weenies and no doubles. Should I just name him Rikku? Fuck it. The Marquise welcomes you aboard her ship, Rikku. As soon as you confirm your name, the other eggs start squelching and cracking into more little flying holographic biotech projectors of various shapes and sizes, monster dragonflies and lightning bugs zipping off into the distance. Vriska catalogs all of her various books and character sheets, pushing her eye patch glasses up to the bridge of her nose. She clambers up the gangplank of her ship, which you see has a name painted on the side in cerulean script as you follow her. Brigantine. Here, hold this. Vriska hands you a rope and you hold on to it, keeping the mainsail rolled up as she scurries to and fro, aft and bow, across the deck of the ship, making adjustments. You watch her try to tie a double bow line, but struggles with the dexterity of her mechanical fingers, swearing in frustration under her breath. You politely look away and try to make idle conversation. You ask for her end of the bargain. What? Her name! You made a character? She tells you her name. That's the deal. She secures another rigging and stomps back over to you. You haven't really made a character until you're in costume. Is your fit not fresh? Is not already fresh? Perhaps even the freshest? Here. She dumps an extra outfit out of her inventory, looking almost exactly like an early version of hers, smaller, with more amateur stitching. You put on the big bridge coat and feel super badass. She looks at you, tilts her head to evaluate, and then grabs a jaunty hat, feather and all, from her Silodex and pops it onto your head. Nice. Alright, my name's Vriska. Vriska Circuit, don't you forget it. Vriska Circuit, or the Marquise, satisfied of her preparations, snatches the rope from you and lets it go, unfurling the mainsail. Practically skips to the captain's wheel, ready to steer the brigantine out of the harbor. Real name basis is one step closer to friendship. Though for a moment you feel like you got told that name already. Were you told, Vriska? Your brain is messed up enough without remembering stuff that maybe didn't happen in canon. If canon even is a real thing that means anything anymore. Your unsettling metatextual introspective is interrupted by Vriska's shouting, "Roll for initiative!" You hear the buzz of projector bugs boarding your ship, and soon 4 flickering holograms appear on the main deck. Looking like lurching zombie trolls, you already hear dice rattling on the deck, and you look over at her to cheat and figure out what you need to roll. Alright, I'm starting for an 18. Looks like you gotta subtract the modifier. 19, huh? Guess you go first, Rikku. This is it. It's LARPing time. Look down the piece of paper for your abilities on it. Ready to cast magic missile or Bugsby's grasping hand or some shit. You pick the top attack from the list. It's your special class ability. You channel the spirit of the Play Knight, point straight at one of the holographic zombies and yell that you're casting Summon Imaginary Friend. You grab a d20 and blow it on your hand. Your Lady Luck. No snake eyes. Other gambling terms. Whatever. You let the icosahedrons of Tabletop Destiny drop through the air, awaiting the result of bated breath. 1. You got a 2 and a miss. God damn it. Vriska laughs out loud. Check out how a real gamer does it. Then she shows you how a real gamer does it. Over the course of this and the next 4 holographic encounters of ballooning complexity, tediousness, difficulty, and word count, she just rolls so many goddamn dice and keeps track of so many goddamn stats. You're overwhelmed, bewildered, and tired of doing math in pencil by the time the last squid-themed hollow monster dies. You were worried about the danger of this game before, but it seems like the only real way you're gonna die today is from fucking boredom. Then you spotted a schooner painted all in black emerges from the fog. You shout to Vriska that there's a ship on the port horizon. Vriska looks right. Does she not know the difference between port and starboard? I used to know what those were because of Final Fantasy XIV, but I have now played Final Fantasy XIV, so I am now ignorant once again. You point in the proper direction, she gives you that mischievous grin of hers. Now it's time for the real action. We've entered the PvP. They're going to a Waffle House! She puts aside her character sheets and dice, drawing a blue saber. She holds it in one hand, the ship's wheel in the other. That's the Rue. The ship of the Dreadclaw Ophelia. Top of the naval flarp leaderboards. She's got a whole crew on that boat, but she's just another rich sea dweller with hired help. She's been too scared to face me. Vriska pointed your ship straight at the Rue, and you've picked up speed. You can make out a troll girl with finned ears and a gaudy purple outfit that you describe as sexy pirate Halloween costume from the world's most bougie party city, Dreadclaw Ophelia. It's absolutely garnished compared to Vriska's more normcore approach to RP activewear, but dressed much more humbly than the captains are a bunch of low blood standing behind her, clutching shitty rusty swords and shaking. So let's bring the fight to her. You're not slowing down. You're pointing straight at the enemy hull. Vriska steers your ship directly into the well-appointed schooner, and you struggle to keep your feet at the shock of impact, which knocks over the violet blood in her frightened thralls of the deck of the Rue. Shields over the din of horrific wood-on-wood screeching. Hey, Swabby. Want to be real good at sword fighting? You look at her with stars in your eyes. Yes, you really do want to be good at sword fighting. You nod eagerly, and she underhand tosses you her blue-hilted saber, which you catch eagerly. Oh shit. Vriska grins back, puts her hand to her temple, and squints with her one good eye. The 7 red dots of her prosthetic seem to smear and blur as your vision loses focus. You manage well to this point as first mate of the brigantine, where your sea legs seem to give out all at once. You're off the sword you were just given, and it clatters to the deck. You try to tell her something's wrong, but your mouth lolls open and you drool a bit. A dull pain gains a sharp and sudden clarity. It feels as though 8 spindly legs are crawling on your head. No, in your head. Each football feels more like a knife cutting through butter. At some point, all the sensation slips into nothing, and you follow the sword to the ground, asleep. What the fuck? Wake up, moron! You don't hear that. You don't wake up. The salt and swell of the ocean gives way to the rustling of alien trees. No longer do you hear the scream of gulls following your ship, waiting for corpses and gore to tumble overboard. It's all peaceful. Consciousness returns to you, and its first presence to discover that you're face down in the slightly wet dirt. Some got in your mouth. You spit it out and sit up, brushing muck off your flarp costume. Wait, that's not a flarp costume. That's a hoodie with a jagged cerulean symbol. A different symbol on it, loose fitting, as though it belonged to a friend. Half memories swim in your mind as you take in the scene, just as familiar as your clothing. A stump sitting in a clearing between the trunks of a purple-treed Alternia forest. A harpoon sticks out of it. This stump would typically fill you with unease, an aura of death and defeat, but a squirrely silhouette cuts through the darkness, and you step further into the clearing and feel your heart lift. Oh my gosh! Sitting there on the stump, kicking bare feet back and forth, tilting her head to the side and smiling impishly is your friend, Voldir Lemity. You remember her. Psst. Can't seeing you here. That's a joke. I'm a figment of your imagination and expecting you the whole time. She pats the stump next to her in an inviting gesture and sit down. You feel less adrift than you can ever remember. You tell her you missed her. Of course you did. You've gotten yourself in a real mess, dear friend. You ask her about all your old friends sitting next to you. They flip through your mind clear as day, as though the memories were never locked away in the first place. How are Tagora and Galki doing? Has you run into Arctica again? What's going on in the neighborhood? Do folks miss you? That last question collapses her wry smile to a genuine crestfallen expression. I can't really tell you that for sure. You've seen it for yourself, just how much he can do. There's a whole other disturbance in this neighborhood, and it has his nefarious fingerprints all over it. It's almost like he was preparing for this. But I try to stay one step ahead, and I remember what I'm fighting for. Do you? The question is arresting. What are you doing? Even if your memory is clouded, you've just been bubbling into other people's stories, breaking things as you go. Well, there's nothing wrong with breaking things. Just like they say, sometimes you have to compromise a few under-fertilized plucked beast embryos in the name of completing breakfast. You tell her you haven't had a good breakfast in ages. One of the places you were at had swords in the fridge. Also, you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. You're going where the river takes you. But things are different now. There's a great power within you that you are just now realizing. The power to shape the river, to use its water to scour the lands as you please. Power even he doesn't fully understand. Voldir I'm trying to remember, was he essentially trying to go against the flow that Doc Scratch was making? I'm pretty sure that she was fighting against some flow. I'm assuming Doc Scratch. But then again, he was working for... Why can't I can't remember his name. You look down at your hand, sitting next to her. You start to remember the green room. Yeah, like, Boldir had, like, truly next level, like, just sixth senses about things going on, about the greater, like, just the idea that she knew about the narrative, essentially. Like, not the exact details, but knew there was a path being set for them. And that it was trying to kill her. But even then, Doc Scratch wanted her alive, at least for the next parts. Because I'm trying to remember her bad ending. Like, I'm trying to remember if, like, the bad ending was the one that was meant to happen, but because for some reason you prevent her death. Sitting up next to her, you start to remember the green room, the story you've fallen into. You tell her there's so much broken and you have no idea how to fix it. You tell her you wish she was real, not just in your head. She'd know what to do. She tilts her head again, inquisitively. Am I, though? Just in your head, I mean. The story's only broken if you accept that it is broken. If you think the story is something given to you. But it's not. Puppet masters may try and tell you that the strings they're pulling are the only ones. As she says this, her head jerks back oddly, but she continues whispering, calm as ever. Don't be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you that this story belongs to them. Not him, not anyone. You feel it too. Yeah, I believe she was talking like a spiral or a string. You feel it too. It feels like threads tug at your body, and at hers even more. Her limbs twitch and pull in gruesome pantomime as more and more strings loop around her and disappear skyward. They nearly surround her completely, but you are powerless to resist, paralyzed. It's for you. It's always been for you. Remember, friend, the only question. She manages to spit out 4 more words as she is swallowed up and tangled in a spider's web of marionette string, choked and broken. What will you do? The whole scene seems to melt away in seeing green, and you are falling, dancing beneath the skilled hands controlling you. He is here. He was already here. The ticking of 1,000 clocks exactly in time echoes around you. Did you miss me? I seem to be on your mind. I'm flattered. Hearing the song makes me so fucking angry. No wonder you're thinking about me just after meeting one of my greatest disappointments. You really do spend too much time around willful little girls. It may start to give you ideas. Now, was he talking about Boldir? No. Yes. Because Doc Scratch once got outplayed. And wasn't it Vriska's the one who outplayed him, or was it Terezi? I think it was Vriska who managed to outsmart him just once, and that sent him ballistic. And I believe that's how she lost the eye, right? Because I'm trying to remember, either Vriska lost the one eye because of that, or the arm, or that's how Terezi lost her vision. I think it was Vriska losing the eye, though, and her arm. If that's how it was, where, you know, it's Vriska, I could see technically both of them being called disappointments by Doc Scratch here. Ideas of choice, of challenge. You're relevant because those holding the strings decided your relevance. An observer. The show must go on, but don't make the mistake these little ingrates did. It can go on without you. The bits that really matter, at least. What's that? Am I doing this? I'm afraid not, darling. I don't even know to what you're referring. But don't make the mistakes these little ingrates did. It can go on without you. The bits that matter, at least. What's that? Am I doing this? I'm afraid not. I don't even know what to what you're referring to. Tears sear at the edges of your eyes again. You try to keep Uldr's words in your mind as the string squeeze the breath out of you. What will you do? Another voice seems to answer. From another place entirely, scratchy and loud, it says, "Fix this." You wake up. Cold stone and a draft greets you. Charming. You barely open your eyes, memories of the dream already fading to wisps in your mind. You're in the cluttered bedroom, or the cluttered respite block that you sure is Vriska's based on the broken 8 balls scattered everywhere. You pick yourself up off the ground and try to think about how you got here. You passed out back on the brigantine. She must have brought you home, but where is she? Turn around and see a window. You look outside and see a dramatic scene below. Vriska is mind-controlling a group of thralls. Once you must have won off of Dreadclaw while you were out cold. They're marching one by one towards a massive web. Perched in the web is a giant spider, heaving, hulking, hungry. Vriska's about to feed the losers of this game to her Lucis. You can't watch, hide in her room and wait. Okay. Holy shit. Vriska's Lucis is a giant spider monster that eats children. This explains so much. It also raises a significant number of questions that you're going to think about while not watching these kids getting eaten. You look for something to distract yourself with. You spot a black, raggedy book, much older than anything else in a room, with Vriska's symbols on the cover. You reach for it and open it up, flipping to a random page and seeing what looks like a journal scrawled in cerulean, but not Vriska's handwriting from your character sheet. Looking inside the first page, you see the name Mindfang. You read, and holy shit, you're very unsure this is appropriate for a young girl to be reading. You keep flipping through to different parts, and wow, it just gets worse. Vriska named her character after this? Lose yourself in the hate-reading Mindfang's long stories about petty crime, dubious consent, and weirdly detailed descriptions of the outfits of the woman named Red Glare. You're surprised then when Vriska walks up the stairs, hands in her pockets looking at the ground. She doesn't even look at you before sitting down on the floor across from you, cross-legged and staring at 1,000 yards into the distance. She rocks back and forth, hands still in her pockets. You go to give her a reassuring pat on the back. As soon as you touch her metal shoulder, cold even through her shirt, she turns to you with a jumping glare and hisses like a cat before facing away again. You get the message. She takes an 8-ball of her inventory again and then savagely, brutally beats it onto the stone floor of her room until it's nothing but shards in a puddle. Then the two of you sit. She occasionally picks through the debris of the 8-ball and rocks, clutching and unclutching her fists, but as the minutes pass, her breathing slows bit by bit. You don't say a word or bring up what happened. She's the one who talks first. Earlier you seemed, confused about why I care so much about playing a character. She thumbs the dog-eared edge of a worn piece of paper in her sharp, clawed hand, staring at the wall. She still got blood in her jacket. Blood that's almost makes you retch with the memory of the spidery mandibles devouring her spoils. One glimpse that makes you sick. What would dozens do? Hundreds. I mean, it seems obvious to me that the Marquise is the greatest and coolest character ever made. But I've been here for so long, it's sort of like a part of me. Everyone's throwing shapes every day and acting like something, right? But most people are so boring. They don't dress up, they don't act, they're always so obsessed with being the exact kind of troll they were yesterday. Maybe you don't have to be the same. Maybe you can go on message boards and try out being someone new and find out you like it. Maybe it's nice to be called something your Lucis doesn't call you. And meet people who only ever know you as the girl online or on the other ship who is super badass and good at things. Come on, you can't tell me you've never wanted to be someone else. You've edged a bit closer to her during this rant and are looking at the sheet of paper in her hand. It's a spreadsheet looking series of boxes she's filled in with red ink. Marquee, Spinneret, Mindfang, Petticoat, Secret. Gender, F. Levels, all of them. She's doodled all over the margins. Art of her captaining ships and swinging swords and drinking out of goblets. Have you ever wanted to be someone else? The question makes you uncomfortable. Just pondering who you are now fills you with unease. Fuck playing a character. Filling out a sheet like this for yourself seems impossible. A piece of paper representing all of your physical and mental attributes. A blank canvas. The common outlines thereon, defining the boundaries of every conceivable personality. You know how you'd fill in the gender box. You've been busy making friends, okay? Suddenly she turns on you. And then there's a desperate, kind of crazy intensity in her good eye. Like her gaze will burn you. You're gonna leave, aren't you? No, yeah, of course. Everybody does. Do you think I like this? I used to have a partner. She didn't like it either, but she helped anyway. Like you, I guess, except she didn't puke when she saw blood. And also, not like you at all. She made rules. She loved rules. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not, like, big on those. Gambling alignments, queens broke rules all the time, and that's just what you gotta do to survive. To make the voice stop haunting me. And, like, she heard her Lucis in her head too, but she didn't need anything from her. What's that even like? I've got to be the best. I have to. I didn't get all the levels just to look at them on the sheet. You saw me out there. It's dangerous. She tried to kill me and left me alone. And then I got even, because that's what you have to do to backstabbers. But I still don't feel even. It doesn't bother her. Nobody ever cares. They just leave and move on, and I'm still stuck here on this stupid world. How are people mad at me for putting losers out of their fucking misery? This planet fucking sucks. Oh boy, that's a lot. You let her finish her tirade. She doesn't look straight at you for the whole thing. You generally ask her how her morale, who you did just befriend, will feel about her saying she's alone. You see a lot of thoughts flicking through her head and a lot of expressions dance across her face. She settles on to look like she's smiling something off. People always want shit from other people. Sometimes you know somebody and you can't describe like what your whole deal is. You go with these ideas about what you're supposed to do or you're supposed to be. You get handed these strict categories, tables in your player's handbook, and you read stories or journals or whatever that say, this is a mate split. You feel like this about them. And you have a moral that melds with you because you're just too fucking broken for her. She just wants. Or you get told, oh, this is what a rival looks like. And then you look at your black date and it's just an absolutely repulsive slimy eel who always wants you to kiss him and ew? Man, could really upgrade in that department. And there's someone that comes along and none of that stuff makes sense to you. You just like being with her. Or it's not even like that, you just feel like the shit makes sense with her. I would say it's like you have this voice in your head saying you're not good enough all the time, or she makes it quiet, but I actually do have a voice in my head saying I'm not good enough. God, I'm not explaining this right. What I'm trying to say is, yeah, there's a doomsday device. Everyone leaves, nobody cares. And we're all waiting on a call up to war, and look, I'm ready. I'm the best at war. It's just a big flarp. I'd rather have a plan B. Give Vriska a moment to breathe. You don't give her a reassuring touch on the back, remembering her jumping hiss when you tried that last. She's like a feral cat, this girl. Tangled greasy hair droops over the shoulders that are always hunched up, like something would come for her throat if she exposed it to anyone. You wonder if she ever let her shoulders down around the girl she's talking about. An ex, perhaps? Of course she did. I wonder if she ever will again. You hear in your ear and a squirrely little laugh, and suddenly remember a green room, and that you've had this thought before somehow. You ask her the question that's been consuming you. More accurately, not consuming you. Why were you left up here when everyone else got fed to the spider? She tenses up immediately when you ask this, and takes some time to clench her fists, then release them. Some people are off limits. She has to eat, but she doesn't eat my friends when I bring her enough food. Your account is off limits. You're one of her friends? Oh my god, don't get a big head about it. I wouldn't let her eat Carcat either. He's not like my bestie for life or anything. Plus, he helped me out. And that's the pirate code. Plus, Fussy Fangs would be mad. It must be hard separating trolls into two classes. Friends and food like that. It must be hard, and no one understands. I mean, that's how it works here. Everyone's got a someone to kick down on. Except for us Bloods. But them's the breaks. Somebody's gotta be on the bottom to keep the whole shebang afloat. Killing people lower down than you is what all the school feds say you're supposed to do. To get ready for a life of space war against... Well, it's most likely that they'll just kill more low bloods. That's all it ever is. My ancestor. She looks left and right as though she's going to be overheard, and leans in smirkingly. She sounds like she's letting you in on a secret. My ancestor Mind Fang. She sailed around being the terror of the high seas for a while, but she fell in with a group that was going to do something about all that. A bunch of weirdos led by Immune who want revolution. I always wanted to be like her. I liked using her name more than my own for a while, dressing up like her, learning to sail, but I always end up back here with a pile of corpses. That's having a Lucis, right? Sometimes you don't get to do what you want. She talks to me, you know? It only stops when she's full. Always whispering in my head. And I was fatter than her, saying I deserved all the things that happened to me. Even when I was bleeding out on this floor. You're the cold, cluttered, uncomfortable, drafty room. Whatever happened to her face and arm must have happened to you. See a broken figure silhouetted on the wall. You look back at Vriska, and you know what she is. For all the bombastic insults, killing, you're looking at a survivor. You're looking at someone who did nothing wrong. You remember Dave's careful crafted defense of a persona. You remember Rose eating oatmeal for dinner in a drafty brutalist mansion. Jade in the shadow volcano raising herself. Your world can be brutal as this one. Earth makes survivors too. And you have made a difference for them at one time. All that nihilistic bullshit earlier feels like it was shouted at you by some meddling voice. Someone holding the strings. Fuck that. You're gonna be a goddamn hero today. You're gonna make friends with this whole fucking planet if you have to, and you're gonna make it better, or at least less of a complete dumpster. You'll tell Vriska you'll be right back and sprint down a spiral staircase. You keep running, pump your beautiful legs straight out the door of Vriska's giant hive. You don't have to color inside the lines of someone else's stories. This is your motherfucking narrative now. You take a leap when you first reach a cliff and barrel over, falling fast, wind whipping past your face as you tumble throughout the air towards a giant white spider. A leap not of faith, but of hope. You crash onto the carcass of Vriska's terrible murder mom hard, cracking it with a piercing shriek at the same time you zap hundreds of feet above the mouth of a volcano on Jade's Island and kick off the back of the spider, leaving the giant troll-gorged arachnid tumbling into the lava as you zap back to Alternia, back to Vriska's respite block. You appear behind her. She doesn't notice you. She's looking out her window, down at the empty web, with a shocked expression. Still looking out the window, her stunned silence turns slowly to a grin of someone less generous than you would describe as shit-eating. Holy shit, Rikku, you actually did something. Hell fucking yes. Vriska is a survivor. I didn't even have to hold back that much to not make the joke of she's a survivor. They're a dying breed. You know the worst part? Vriska never got a moment to unwind. It was constant adventure. And then I think even at the end of no, it's just constantly something needs to happen for her now because of just everything. So essentially growing up to be 18, so 18 years of life essentially, 16, 18. And this is all that it was. And then afterwards they were just hanging out. And they did get along. I kind of it like literally she like I think for all of Homestuck, she's been except for on the meteorite, but even then, like they were preparing for battle still. Just like on this planet, she was preparing for that whole space war thing. Um, she's had no downtime. And then with the end of Homestuck proper, she's just gone, and I'm assuming just adventuring. So she's still she may not have been fighting the whole time in that when she goes on the adventure. I'm not counting the epilogues. I'm just musing on that whole thing of like when she's gone for 3 years and Terezi's still trying to find her, you know, and John on the Snapchat thing is like, "Have you found her yet?" It's like, "We're still looking. I'll message you when I can." Like Vriska doesn't get to rest, and you're right. There was, I think they even mentioned in the story as well as like she did enjoy her time with John. But of course, she's like being Vriska about it. But she did enjoy it. She did enjoy the conversations, even though it was like, oh, you're just being a dork or you're just being a loser. Because that's just kind of how John is, where he just kind of rolls. Like the only person he's wanted to kill was like the big bad, the story of Lord English, like where he really wasn't taking his shit. But if like every troll, I'm trying to remember if there was ever one troll that he couldn't really talk to. But like he always had with the more like with Carcat and fucking Vriska, they're always loud, they're always bombastic, but like there's a certain calmness to them interacting with John. It's like, yeah, Carcat yells at you, but like, I don't know, man. He seems kind of content with that because he found like his black romance or whatever, and then Vriska just I don't know, just enjoyed the topics they talked about. He wasn't wimpy enough to piss her off. He wasn't stubborn enough to argue back. He was a middle grown when he would willingly walk into disaster and people snapping out of it and going, John, never do that again. And he was middle ground. He would willingly walk into disaster and people snapping out of it and going, John, never do that again. Yeah, like, I guess that's kind of putting it, I guess that's kind of a good way to sum it up where because John was just so neutral, I guess, with a lot of things, because he would roll with different events occurring. And then with that whole personality he just worked with Vriska. And then as well Carcat. Because Carcat slightly a push, yes. But that was the thing though, like as things got more fantastical, like his ability to adapt was just truly phenomenal and like a thing that really helped out, I guess, in the story and just his building relationships with the other characters. Tab The one time Tavros decided an awareness comes with hanging around John where, oh, I might accidentally kill him. I might be careful of messing with him. It's not something they have to be told to do. Ignoring Terezi. Because, like, yeah, no, like, the one thing that comes to mind is, like, Vriska telling him to go to his god bed. And it's like, all right. And he just goes along with it. And even then, he's not too salty about it, if I remember right. And that's the thing, was like, John kind of understands that Vriska is abrasive, kind of forthcoming. Not forthcoming. What's the word? Maybe not forthcoming. Abrasive, yes, but like, he knew that she was, like, when he said, like, don't you want some awesome powers, she was being legitimate. It's like, there's no reason to trust it. Blunt, I guess, yeah, blunt's the word. Bold, blunt, bold, yeah. And, like, even, like, again, I'm pretty sure that when John dies on the bed, he's not too upset. He's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I think Vriska makes the argument, if I told you, you probably wouldn't have done it. And John's like, yeah, you're probably right, actually. Like, he just comes swinging back, like, pretty quickly. He only found things weird as it increased. Yes. But even then, like, he was still willing to accept explanations people gave him, or the best explanations they could give. I wish epilogues didn't happen as they did. I wish there was a form of Vriska that could still be the rebellious self, but not have to deal with all of the bullshit that we're now going through in Homestuck 2. Because I like that the Vrissi is a rebellious teen under the watchful eye of Kanaya and Rose. It's just kind of funny to me. Because it's like the idea of, oh, you know, my parents are super strict. But then, like, you learn, like, oh no, like, if they need to fuck shit up back as kids, they would. So who better to learn from than the two people who know how to follow rules, but will absolutely love to destroy them if, like, they don't like them. But now Vrissi has to deal with the whole thing with Jane's kid being... My life's so hard and got the best parents until revelations happen. Like, that's the thing of... Because now Vrissi is being thrown into this whole shit show, and it's nowhere near as bad as Vriska's. And I kind of hope it doesn't get to that point where it does become that bad. But right now, things in Homestuck 2 are being resolved. But because, again, we have to... I love and hate Epilogue. Because, again, Epilogue's just everything that happens. Games should never have been let out of the box. But because of Homestuck 2, it's like this story of we can't undo the mistakes of the past, but we can fucking try to make things better. Because then it just reminds me of the old saying of the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. And I'm hoping that is what Homestuck 2 is trying to build up to. That open, just the first few chapters, because of just everything Epilogues did, is just like, I'm already expecting like so much shit. And then like, its small W's keep building up. So I am hoping that while all the damage can't be undone, they try to make the best of it that they can. And I don't really know how the whole pruning off the timelines or world thing is gonna work, but I'm sure they'll find a solution. This stream got me stuck at home, and now I'm on a quest to pester people. Yeah, no, I think Homestuck 2 to me is so good because it understands it cannot undo everything that Epilogues did immediately. This has to be a very gradual thing. It's like a redemption arc, you know? And because of that, it's these slow and consistent efforts made by the writers to say, okay, these actions have happened. What can we do going forward to potentially reverse course and mitigate the damage? Because I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of Pesterquest, this becomes its own timeline that does not need to be sucked into the whole Epilogues Homestuck 2 thing, even though it's a part of it, even though apparently John visits this timeline as well. I feel like because of the powers our MC has, it's fine. It's safe. That's what I hope happens at the end of this. All right, we got 14 minutes left. Let's try to get the other two things for Vriska. Which I'm surprised we haven't gotten already, just from the two things I did. Built like a furret? No, furret, yeah, it's F-U-R-R-E-T. Yo, let's just do Play Night again. There's image. Yep. I'm assuming one of these options is for the achievements. You know what? Let's try this. Oh, we could do Rissu. Holy shit, this is supposed to be a game. These kids are getting fed to a fucking spider, and it's all because of your definitely essential contribution to Vriska's victory. This is so messed up. Games don't cause violence, you think? As you rush down the stairwell, they can. Vriska's going to discredit an entire generation of gamers and add fuel to the fire of anti-gaming activism with this kind of behavior. Also kill some kids? That's like normal Eternia stakes, though. You gotta defend the integrity of Fortnite. That's much more important, obviously. You rush out into the late night air, too late to save a tranquilized mind-controlled olive blood from being torn asunder. Vriska's loosest holds a troll boy in her forelegs. Petal paps tearing through clothing and tearing into gray flesh, beating a winding intestine to her mouth. You feel like you're gonna yards? You have no idea what you're doing, standing out here alone against a giant monster in this gaggle of mind-controlled thralls. But you gulp down some air and yell, "Stop!" Vriska turns to you, and she doesn't look like she's doing a lot better, frankly. She's got a similarly sick expression on her face. Pretending that her eyes is dead, resigned. Her expression crumbles onto a scowl. "What the fuck are you doing here?" She squints her one eye in pain like there's a voice screaming inside her head. "I know, okay? I know. I'm dealing with it." She steps up towards you and you see cerulean dice appear one at a time between her fingers. The dice are sparkling with cold blue flame. You suddenly feel as though you're going to have a very, very bad time. First, you fall asleep on me like a weenie, and I have to fight the last encounter all on my own. Then I carry you back to safety, even though we just met. You owe me. Turn around and go back. Now. You look up past her at the gigantic spider. The awful noise of squelching has stopped. 8 eyes are trained on you, blinking out of order. A spattered bollock palette of multicolored blood is smeared all over her slavering mouth. There's 7 trolls still standing there beside her, mindless, mouths lolling. Next. You don't turn around, you don't go back. You stand your ground, unarmed without a plan. Surely your new friend will see how wrong this is. Vriska looks hurt for a moment, betrayed, but the same glare settles back in her face. You think you're a big hero stopping this dangerous bitch, right? Happy as a bivalve mollusk about your little protagonist moments? You're being stupid. You don't understand what's happening here. What I have to do. You can't fix this. Nobody can. So now you're just another little weenie who thinks they're a hero and I'm a villain. So sure, I'll play ball. I'll be exactly what you want. She tosses the dice on the ground. Baroness is restrained. The dice glow with a blue flame as they tumble to a stop. An ethereal whip materializes and snaps around your ankles. You are dragged dizzling fast towards the spider's web. The friction of your ass and the rocky cliff face tears the butt off of your flarp costume, exposing your delicate cheeks to chafing, your greatest asset. But things get far worse than that. You are flung directly into the clutches of the horrific arachnid. The fang of the Vriska's loosest pierce your skin and plump you full of numbing venom that causes everything to fade to black and static numbness. But it's good, because she's beginning to eat you alive. It's also good, because you can't see or hear a little girl stifle a sniffle, holding herself with crossed arms, one mechanical, and rocking back and forth, watching another friend consumed by this chaos that never leaves her. Great work, hero. You got bored. So I didn't get these achievements. Is Playnot not the weeniest choice? And then also the whole Vriska. Do I just have to keep doing doubles essentially? Okay, I got some time. Let's do that real quick. Let's see. Okay, let's go Larboard. Actually, what class was Tavros? Bring a little color to your enemy's cheeks by giving them a much needed makeover, but like with your fists. Can you be a little more creative? Geez. He was a Peter. I think, yeah, something like a Peter Pipe. Oh, as soon as you say it, Vriska's narrows her eyes at you. Without warning, she pushes you off the dock into the briny Alternian waters. All right, let's see if we can make a Peter Pan character then. As soon as you say treasure, she knocks you over. That's actually so funny they give you that. I'm assuming. No. I'm assuming like imagination or. I'm assuming it has to have imagination for the Peter Pan class. So just do this. Effect cerebral. Dex. Fanciful fun list. Pablo Pasadubel. Boy Skylark. That sounds familiar. Turn this off. What does he say for that? Could I put in Doc Scratch? Yep, that is a name that pisses her off. Alright, we'll give this like 2 more shots. Turn off that. Unsolvable prankster. Real humdinger. Frontline vanguard. Cast iron skillet. Piss Icarus. Fortified legate. Unsolvable prankster. Divine urchin. Scrappy doer. Vainglorious bastard. Yeah, I'll just do that class. Maybe I need to do Tavros. No. You gotta pick a name less wimpy than that. What's another one I could do? Okay, you and Tavros have a lot in common. Oh, do we need to get her class then? What is her class again? Okay, I think that's the last thing we need to do then is just get her class. Okay, so hit random. Petticoat Seagriff, alright. Petticoat Seagriff, how do we make that? Hottie with a body. Nice. Guitar's worst nightmare. Nope, this isn't gonna help me. I'm pretty sure if I read the dialogue again. Alright, so then take the insult line down. She's already the best one. Ballerina of the Dance with Battlefield. There we go. And now we got it. We go play night. There we go. There's only room for one petticoat seagriff on the high seas, laddies. 'Tis be the end, boys. That's the end of this stream. Oh. No streams next week until like Monday. Or not. No streams next week until Friday. There we go. I have to help cover at my work, so I have to work the mornings Monday through Thursday, but I think I should be able to stream Friday. But yes, that will be the end of stream for today. I hope you all have a good weekend / rest of your day. And have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.